मार दी वुल्फ, क्लीन स्वीप। जेन को मार दी पब्लिक, रिवाइव हो गए दोनों, बट आईसी आ गए थर्ड पार्टी करने। इनके देखो 10 किला हो गया यार। वो थर्ड पार्टी करने जा रहे थे, सीधा ठोक दिया गाड़ी भाईगन। ढंग से चला, कितनी बार बोल रहा हूँ। उधर F1 की रेस चल रही, तुम लोग ऐसा चलाएंगे गाड़ी? अरे FL गरम है भाई, सीधा थर्ड पार्टी करने चले गए। बट मर गए लोग, मर गए। आय हाय हाय हाय, क्या पड़ रही है, आय हाय हाय, क्या गंदा सैंडविच हो गया यार। आय हाय 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 हाय, चलो लॉबी। आय हाय हाय हाय, चलो लॉबी सीधा 1 सेकंड में गायब। 10 किल लेके। गाड़ी गलत रोक दिया उन्हें, गलत जगह पे गाड़ी रोक। पहले जो गाड़ी ठुकी ना, वहीं हार गए लोग फाइट। गाड़ी गलत जगह ठोक दिया बैगन, और चकले लग गए। जिस हिसाब से गोलियां पड़ी ना, ऐसा लगा भाई ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड का वो बॉट कोई मार रहा है ऑटोमेटिक पे डाल के। KGF में मारता देखो रॉकी भाई, M249 पेट्रोल, ये पुलिस स्टेशन के सामने, वैसा गोलियां पड़ी इन लोगों को। अब तो देखो WBG पे गोल्डन चांस है टू बी #1। #1 आने का गोल्डन चांस है। एक गाना सुना, ब्रेथलेस सॉन्ग। भाई सांस ले, पेड़ होगा। बैगन कहाँ ब्रेथलेस कर रहा, पेड़ होगा, लंबी सांस ले। कोकन आओ चीचा घूमने, आना है सैम भाई, जरूर आएंगे। तो 40 ध्रुविल भाई, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम, थैंक यू फॉर द $10 मेरी जान।
And here for Weibo.
If you asked me yesterday about midway through the day, I would have told you that it's very unlikely we're seeing a second PEL team getting in towards the grand finals. But I think genuinely right now, it looks possible. Weibo's being a lot cleaner this game. Less mistakes seem to be happening here, and they are focused. They look laser focused on this match. Very, very clean fights, very clean holds on the areas that needed to be looked towards. I think right now
They're going to go down there, and the placement points start to kick in now for all our lone survivors. That's potentially big news. Single points can make all the difference. Influence Rage lose their final player. Again, the placements start to stack up, but Weibo yet to get another elim so far.
We haven't talked about them too much, but they hold a pretty strong position. I like that Noki's already moved up. I think Noki doesn't get enough credit. So tremendously problematic for a lot of squads, where you can get 1 or 2 elims before you even tag a shot onto him. So Noki being this close to Weibo does worry me a little bit.
Made over the top, and they are looking to rack up these elims up to 9 now. And a second place would draw them even. Order with the challenge. 33Z goes down. Order taken out as well by a nade, and 9ZG not going down without a fight, but Koligot steps on a landmine there, goes up, and Sook is able to land it. But the sprays are coming through, and Weibo have lost a player now in a circle, starting to take command here, Blank. Maybe it's not just one team looking to jump up into top 2 here. In a circle, still with that chance. 2 more elims and a chicken dinner would draw them level as well.
Oh my days.
And they found Sook.
So annoying. So it's happened so much with Weibo. It's unbelievable. Where they'll just keep walking out into the same angle that they just got shot from. And it's happened too much that I will forgive it anymore. This happened before, and I'm like, that's the heat of the moment. That's the heat of the moment for the boys. They're struggling, but it's just happening again and again. Funnily enough, it's happened the most versus Inner Circle as well. This is a great push from Inner Circle, easy peasy. And like I said, Noki finds 2 before you even know it's happened. And I am proud of the boys from Inner Circle here. This is a great push. They absolutely deserve the win off the back of that. That's a nasty nade from Olio, though.
Might have been able to catch that one coming, but I think he had his eyes on the inventory there. The Weibo curse. The focus on the boxes a little bit too much, but Alliance can't push over because of IQ's position, because of the backup that sits there, and because of the boars, keeping them crunched in. But the boars have to move now. The blue zone's going to start to move. Havlik breaking out wide. A push forwards. The fight for the middle of the tables, trying to move up. Boars on 8 elims already, Blank. Alliance only on 3. The boars could make a massive dent in their approach as well, with a big game here. So a lot of moving parts, and teams that were really on last chance saloon. In with a shot, a big nade for Snoix to open it up. Exo pulls out wide, a nade goes high for Alliance. One goes short as well. The first knock onto Snoix is there, and they step out. Get a little bit too far forwards though, and the burn bites them back. The Boars kept on the crunch as Jimmy bleeds out, sure, but this is a solid hold from Alliance. Boars a little bit trepidatious, nearly finding more, but the healing desperately needed now.
I mean, this is a hell of a swing out coming through from Inner Circle as well. They are finding a lot of points off the back of this. They instantly started wrapping wide off the back, and look at that. All the points are going through to Inner Circle, and they are just shooting up the leaderboard with this one. Falak's finding that, actually finds all of them. T24 is down, but there's an immediate refrag coming through from Falak here. 16 elims on the game. Oh my goodness me, Inner Circle.
What a shutdown from Inner Circle. They controlled it so well. Weibo re-peaking too bold, and they were ready for it. They took the shots, they took them down, and they kept the pressure going. What a massive, important game for Inner Circle. That's going to push them. I think that's going to put them. I think they will have put themselves there, and that is exactly what they wanted to find. Team Flash pushed aside. That is going to feel nasty at the top, but the race is on. 2 spots left, and that is how you make your challenge for them.
Again, for Weibo, it's just lax, though. It's just lax. You re-peak the angle on the south, even though you're getting shot from the west. Why were we doing that? It makes no sense. Like, surely you check that angle first. I really want to know what the guys in the desk thought about that game, but Inner Circle, what a way to finish things out on Rondo.
Circle, are you kidding me? 17 elimination chicken dinner off the rip. That is how you start the last day in the last chance. Neptura, break down this historical start for Inner Circle today.
I love this team so much. Jokes! I love Inner Circle so much for this very reason. Look at the control they had on this Inner Circle, on this final circle here, the zone. They were able to push everybody out to the zone. Really careful with their angles. That 3-1 split coming in really clutch there. Using IQ as their anchor point, just able to just push everybody out to that blue zone, make them panic, make them not have time to make any decisions for themselves. They were just controlling from start to finish. I love this from the Max.
I want to echo a point that Blank had earlier on in this tournament about Inner Circle, which is we were seeing Falak pop off. We were not seeing the rest of the team. T24, 6 eliminations. Noki, 3 eliminations. IQ, 3 eliminations. This is the Inner Circle we were waiting for, and they have showed up big on this Rondo game. And you know what? The good rotations, down to the recall, right? Neptura, they had the recall from T24 OP next to Bailey, northwest of Rondo. And that allows them to avoid any big early to mid-game skirmishes to get control of this open area on the west of these finishing circles. Oh my goodness, like the entire setup was just so well executed, like a well-oiled machine. And they wrap it up well. Like the third parties at the end there, beautiful.
What I love so much is that how careful it all was, right? They didn't full send anything. They used the terrain to their advantage. They made sure that they were able to just get exactly what they needed without any risk themselves. And I love that from them. And I just love as well what we saw here is like they were backing off of the hot drop as well, like just well backing off, making sure that they had exactly what they needed and weren't getting too caught up in those big fights. So I really appreciate that from them, and they were able to actually be able to set up a much better game for themselves without all of that.
Yeah, I mean, this game was just amazing. You know what? I said it already. I wish we had 2 Rondos per day, man.
Oh,
These
so
matches
bad.
are so fun. I know everyone's been like, oh, we don't want Rondo in esports. And now I see everywhere people are like, Yeah, Rondo is actually really fun to watch. It's actually really, really good. But yeah, in some of these plays, actually, this Wolves push, we saw there was Genji pushing onto it, then the third party coming in from Team Flash. I love that play from Team Flash, but I mean, Hot Drinks, Wolves, that fight, not losing a single player in that engagement was literally so unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, it was so clutch for them there. It's just right there towards the end. After all that fight is said and done, they try to stand her up with a circle, and Weibo just had such a beautiful position on the high ground there. 27 points, though, from Inner Circle. I'm telling you, all this team needs is to get 4 players in the final circle. And they're going to make it happen here, guys. They were in 7th place, Maxman, before the day started. With 27 points, this is going to, like, take them to infinity and beyond. That is insane.
Yeah, the demons from Pakistan have arisen in this. Well, it's not the Gauls, but you know what? Well, I can steal that and use it for Inner Circle this one. But you know what? We're talking about the big squads at the top of the leaderboards getting points. Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash, you know, of course, some really good double-digit games. But Boar, Niptura, they were standing in 11th position before this match, 25 points. This game alone puts them in reach of a top 2 position if they keep getting good points on board. So, Boars, perfect timing to get a decent game here.
Yeah, really, really nice from them. Again, I mean, it goes along with the lines of what we were saying, right? That Rondo is kind of the make or break game for the rest of the day. And I really enjoy seeing Boars take advantage of that and go, listen, this is the only map that we get a second chance. You know, we get do-overs if something doesn't go quite right. We get that recall. So let's just go for it. I love to see that from the Boars. Hopefully we see that in the next few games as well. But you see the MVP, I mean, it's got to be Phallic. Of course, it has to be 5 eliminations, 11, nearly 1,200 damage on his own. I mean, that just goes to show you he was farming teams left, right, and center.
Look how he's just looking into that camera right now.
I know.
He scares me. I don't want to be in the 200-meter radius of this guy, or you're dead. But you know what? We're talking about the teams that did so well, also just like Boars. I was actually very upset with 2 teams, and that was Weibo and especially Alter Ego. Sure, they got a few points on board here, Hot Jukes, but Alter Ego in particular, why are we doing this mid-game 2-2 split versus Burmese Gauls and Weibo? Commit to a fight. You know what? I genuinely don't care which one you pick. Commit to it as a full squad, and you might be able to actually make it to Weibo's position here. As Inner Circle, they take away first place in the first match on Rondo. What?
What?
What a jump!
Are you kidding me? Yeah, when I saw that 2-2 split from Alter Ego, right? I was like, this is a 30-point lead play here. You know, like if you got 30 points on the lobby, then you can kind of do that kind of thing and get away with it. But you don't got that kind of lead, and that lead is gone. See you later. You ain't even in first place anymore. Now you're the team in the hot seat. Game number 1. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Neptura, last chance. This is what it's all about.
It is. Inner Circle were in 7th place beginning today, and in one game, they've not only got to first, but they've actually got a fair bit of a lead, right? What is that for? It's 7 points. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's more than AE and Flash right now. It's more than Flash and Weibo right now. So what a game from them. I mean, we're not going to see those same kind of numbers coming in on a Wrangle, but if they can get a back-to-back top 5, top 3, they're set, Max.
I think I did see there was a little bit of a point gap being created between 4th and 5th, if I'm not mistaken, like getting around 10 points. There is a bit of a cushion being built here. It's not a massive one, but it's still something sizable. But all I want, Inner Circle, don't rest on your laurels. Great that you did so big a jump here on game 1 going into first place. You're not comfortable still. We need to see, of course, a follow-up going into the Erangel matches, where Erangel for them yesterday, Niptura, they didn't get too many points on board. They got like a very low elim 3rd place with, actually, was it? No. Oh, yeah, it was the 3rd place, but it was still 10 elimination. Actually, I got that number wrong. An extra 0 there, so quite impactful. But it's going to be tough because, look, Flash getting so many points too. Weibo getting a ton of points. Alter Ego able to at least get into the mid-game stage. Erangel is going to be do or die for some of these squads.
No, it is absolutely. Weibo as well with that, right? They did get to the top 4 and they did get a lot of eliminations. It's just that they faltered in the last bit. But again, that kind of performance is something we want to see coming into those next games. So Weibo is still a threat here for sure.
Neptura, I have a question for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to Inner Circle here, okay, the strategy, obviously, with how behind they were, right, was go aggressive, get a ton of eliminations, win the game, right? They did exactly that for game number 1. Now they're in the lead, okay? Going into Erangel, though, What do you feel would be the best bet for Inner Circle here? Do you stay aggressive? Do you try to soak up some more points and kind of segue? Or now that you got a little bit of lead, just try to stretch to that end game and conserve and get some points? What would you do in the situation?
Honestly, I would ask them to just play exactly how they played that rondo, because they kept to themselves. They weren't over aggressive. They were very careful. They made the decisions they made and they stuck to them. And then those angles coming out in the end game, the timing of the end game was so on point that they cannot go wrong if they just continue to do that. So just do the exact same thing would be my advice.
For Weibo in particular, I said I was also a little bit unhappy about their game. They just delayed their fight versus 9Z Globen, and then Inner Circle were just able to make that push and third party it. Weibo, I want to see them be a little bit more proactive with when they pick their fights, and if they do that, I think here they could have got easily maybe even a second place, but they were just not quite quick enough, Hot Jukes, to take away that podium position.
Oh, you better be quick on your feet here, because there's only 5 more matches left to go. Let's get into the first Aaron Gale of the last day of Last Chance. Let's go ahead and take it on over to our casters, John Allen and Blake.
Oh, what a mad one to kick things off. Inner Circle up in first place. We are unmuted, unleashed, and ready to rock this lobby once more. We're into Erangel for our final stretch of 3 for a lot of these teams. 14 will never see the grassy pastures again until 2026. So let's see who's going to make the most of it. Are they going to be able to hold their top spots? Is that second place going to be as hotly contested as we think towards the end of the day? Only time will tell. And let's get cracking.
It's quite a few teams right now actually chasing for top 2. I'm kind of surprised by the amount of teams who are in close contention for it. Usually at this point of the day, you're starting to see at least 4 teams break away, but I still think there's around about 7 teams that can still make it in at the moment, or with a fighting chance at least. I think after our next match, match 3, we'll start counting some teams out. If I'm honest, we'll start counting some teams out. It looks like we're getting a hot drop straight away, though. It is Alter Ego immediately getting harassed here by Papa Supermassive. Great spray down from Rosemary. You expect nothing less from the guy.
I mean, this is a good start for Alter Ego. This is very, very dangerous stuff for them, though, after getting pushed down to second place. You can't really afford things to go wrong for you, but it's all going right. Krypton on the window doesn't get taken down, and Papa Supermassive go down as well. Snake keeping things under control, but Papa Supermassive losing their players. Alter Ego fighting for their second place. Up 3 Elims, and now just 1 player on the rooftops. Kamikaze, was that with the bow? That he got a double knock? Does he think he's Sook? What's going on here? Kamikaze, put that one back. You're not in Weibo. I know. He's going to drop down, though. He's going to go for the rest of the fight. The spray down with the UMP. He's hopping in. He's up for the window. Snape controls it. Snape explodes at his feet, but it's not going to do the damage. And he will find it. Papa Supermassive fall, and Alter Ego cling on.
I mean, they made the right play there. Full reset, or at least attempted to. 1 player holding. Alter Ego's in the operating room, but there you go. That's how it all breaks down here on Erangel. Sometimes it's quite violent. But we do have a northwest circle over towards Ruins, which is unoccupied at the moment. Papa Supermassive, they might have just stamped their tick from Inner Circle to get a little bit of an insight into what's going on over on that squad and how they're feeling after that massive win.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm here joined by Falah from Inner Circle, putting up 1,100 damage, and with that performance, pushing yourself up to first place. I want to know, you guys made an adjustment in Rondo in regards to the solo player with the 3-1 split. You made sure T24 went further away. What led to that decision?
We just went to Neox so we can take some kills, and even if we die, T24 will just recall us and we will loot and belly and just rotate. And then zone favored us, and it was a very good match for us. That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't say Zone just favored you. You guys, the timing was great, especially with WBG. As I mentioned earlier, you're in first place. What can you do to keep this momentum going and maintain yourself within the top 2?
We are very confident now. We will just try to play good and continue this momentum so we can qualify for grand finals.
Inshallah, you'll be in grand finals. You got T24 performing. You're performing too. Everybody's performing. Let's see how Inner Circle can continue on the last day of Last Chance.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they profited a huge amount in those final moments, Blank. I mean, going in towards the final circles, they only had something like 2 elims on that last rondo. And they were able to rack up so many from those final fights. Really masterfully played. They played very, very passive until that point, holding their position well. But now they're on the Millie Island, and they're going to have to transition north. So get that loot on board. Get trucking, because your destiny's just across that bridge.
I mean, for Inner Circle, it's pretty free and clear right now. On the south side, no one really challenging them on Sosnovka, so an easy approach over towards the northwest. Genji are holding Western Bridge, though, so a little bit interesting there. Finished out on 7th place, I believe it was, there showing on day 1, so it's a really big jump up after one game. Then again, I think it was roughly 27 points they got off that match, so fairly gigantic amount of points they were able to accrue. Alter Ego, a little bit of damage still on their side, but should be easily healed up. I don't really have any teams around them at the moment. Everest Circle potentially, maybe. We'll see how it plays out. A bit worried for Alter Ego because typically on these sorts of circles, and we head over towards Ruins, your Fields, Everest, teams do want to take splits. I think it's a frustrating one, because I think when you watch Alter Ego and they take their splits and it goes well, everyone at home is clapping. Everyone's, wow, Alter Ego, well done, well done. And we're all like, well done, nice split, nice split. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm always looking at them and being like, I don't know. Is this too greedy? It feels a little bit greedy to me. And then it works out. But then there's those clear moments where they'll do it again, and it's wrong. It's the wrong play. I think that because they are so good at the game, they can make some of these splits work out. I worry if they do make it in top 2, go to the grand finals, those splits are going to get punished so much, John.
I mean, just getting there in the first place already is going to be a monumental achievement, right? In the grand finals, the minimum prize you can earn is $25,000 in that 16th place. And if you get through from last chance, you're earning 10 or 9,500, depending on if you're first or second. So already you're nearly tripling your money, not to mention what you will have earned from Gauntlet, from group stage as well. So having a good time just getting there. But you're right, getting further in, that's even more money, right? Because the jumps do start to get pretty big. Obviously, that grand prize of $500,000 for first place in those grand finals. But we'll see. We'll see if that's something that is being purely utilized for this lobby as well, right? It could be a case of, well, we know we can't do it later, but in order to maximize this opportunity, because you need top 2, right? We're going to go for it and see what we can get done. I see right now Inner Circle looking to take eyes over towards Gen G, who are guarding them out, which feels pretty cruel for Gen G. They should be getting a move on, all things considered, towards this circle. But IQ completely knows what's going on here.
You know, I think Gen G can sit here for quite a while, honestly. I don't think there's any reason for them to push out over towards the north side. They're in the circle. They may as well hold. I think for Inner Circle right now is more of a case of trying to pick up as many meds as possible, because I think they're going to be in the blue for a little bit of time. Honestly, if I was them, I'd probably just shift over towards the eastern side and try and make that rotate. I can't imagine that's too difficult. For the Boars, they're probably not looking to hold on the eastern bridge, and I don't think they saw a lot of shoots down towards Sosnovka anyway. So yeah, I think this is definitely the right choice for them to try and shift over towards the eastern side. For Gen G, don't give them anything. And with that circle, yeah, the decision to push east makes all the more sense, because now Gen G can sit here forever.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's definitely going to help that decision out. You're right. But the Boars, maybe? No, they're not going to be guarding that bridge, surely. In a circle. Oh, hang on a minute. They've turned around. Blank. They're moving back west. In the meantime, though, everybody who moved over to the Gatka Fields is moving back down towards the south, to the hills to the southwest of Pachinki, to the mouth of Quarry on that southwest side. Beg your pardon. I'm getting a little bit choked up. No, I'm not. We're going down to the ridge that sits on the south of it, just north of Gen G as well. and the buildings that sit all in between, it is a little bit messy. They're going to go for it. Blank, they did turn around. Noki, then straight through the blockade. He's going to get taken down. That is a bad feeling. Decisions being a little bit uncertain on the south side. And Gen G, well, they stayed confident in theirs.
It's stage 2, guys. You don't need to make that play. It's just a categorically bad maneuver. Like what's the upside here? Do you get it? You get one player across, you don't get shot out. You shouldn't. You also have to get all 3 of your players across. You get one player across, it's free. You can get a compound on the south side. You try and take that one on the south side of the fields. You could have got that anyway just by shifting over towards the east side. Now that Gen G sees a player is down from Inner Circle, they're like, oh, we're free and clear. They're going to Eastern Bridge. Now we can make our move. So now that's taken. This crossing over towards the east would have been fine. In fact, he was closer to you. I think there's some very weird mistakes happening right now in Last Chance. Some really weird mistakes, and it's a
up in towards the top 2, right? For Inner Circle, maybe they thought, oh,
you can't. Don't give him any excuses. No. There's no excuses for that. No excuses. No excuses.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, fair enough. Okay, right. I take it all back. They're so bad. I agree with you, Blank. You know that you said that they were so bad. You know, I just
yes, I did, and I'm stunned by that. They're in first place. You don't need to go big right now. You just need to get casual points.
Oh dear. Is there any other teams you'd like to unload on about?
No, but because that was a bad play. I've not seen any of the bad plays that I need to unload upon right now.
Well, I can't wait for the next one. I think that's going to be great fun. Weibo on the western side, they were denied that chicken dinner. They wouldn't have been to the top 2 anyway. As you'll see, they were in 63 points there, which would have been one behind, of course, Team Flash on 64. But again, they are back in that. They are back still rather in that conversation. It's a question of getting through Influence Rage because teams still looking to keep this one rolling. The south side a little bit harder to play now. Teams moving into the hills south of Gatka. I mean, that's kind of the major feature. The hills that stretch down to the southwest of Pachinki, some of the buildings there, trying to find those compounds. It's going to be difficult. Some of the chopsticks may be occupied in just a moment too.
It's a rough circle for everyone. It's a very, very rough circle for everyone. I like Alliance's move, nice and early, over towards the center. Weibo able to find themselves a knock over there towards 90 Globen. That's over towards the western side of the circle right now. I think if Weibo can control this, they'll do absolutely fine. They have a lot of options going over towards that eastern side. Kind of like Alter Ego's rotate. They managed to wrap all the way down and then back up again through the fields. This is actually a nice play from Alter Ego. I like that a lot.
All right, we'll have to wait and see if it's going to pay off for them. Inner Circle, actually, by the way, slamming in from the east side, get past Boars, Team Flash, Gen G, and now they're onto the hill in the center of this one. So even with 3 players, they still managed to find themselves a pretty solid spot here, all things considered, playing up on the ridgelines that overlook the fields to the southwest of Pachinki, to the north of Ferry Pier. Wolves finding Arc Red. This is on a roll. Hang on a minute. Is that a solo roll up? And he's able to control it. Alliance are helping out a lot as well. I think, okay, yeah. So Arc Red looking to crash onto the Alliance position. And Igor was able to pull a point out of them. They're looking for more. Alliance still have the crossfire sight lines. And Arc Red, I mean, third partying just not enough here in last chance stages. They are having a tough time of it.
Arc Red's a good team. Arc Red is a good team. I'll stand by that they are a good team. I think that in terms of playmaking potential, they don't have it. I think that it's almost funny because a lot of the big moments from Arc Red have come off the back of another team trying to make a play and then them ruining that play by being quick. They are very opportunistic. I think that's a really good quality in any team, to be able to quickly analyze and identify where there is value to be found on the map. But what Arc Red don't do is they don't make plays. They don't make plays very often. And I think that could change. But I think the future is very bright for that team. And Uzbekistan coming into the region in a big way now, I think that they have a bright future ahead of them. Honestly, just getting to the last chance here, I do think they've got a bright future ahead of them. They need to solve some of their problems, be a little bit more proactive in the circle. But other than that, I think that their gun skill is good. I think their opportunity making is good. I'd like to see some improvements elsewhere, but I think the future does look good.
I think that's the takeaway that you could probably look at for quite a few teams in this lobby as well. As we said before, you know, we'll criticize a lot of the plays that these teams make, but they're trying to make them against the best teams in the world. So sometimes it's just not going to work out, not going to go your way. And even getting to this point is a monumental achievement for everybody here. They are deserving of all the reverence that they are receiving, I'm sure. At least I hope, from their fans, from their home team, support as well. Alter Ego diverting one of the players that remains from 90 Globen. They are a little bit split and really down on their luck right now, having a very tough time. The circle shift west, and Alter Ego have the middle spot again.
And for 90 Globen, it's sort of interesting. I think they were in the... they got sort of placed in the wrong house, right? If we're going by Harry Potter, where they got placed in Group Green, because it was such an aggressive lobby, but they were much more of a Group Red type of team, in my opinion, where they make these wide ramps, they play more chess, but it was so aggressive over in Group Green, and they took advantage of that. They really did. In terms of their rotates. Here, the teams are very much willing to make smart rotations, and 9ZG is struggling to find those entryways, which they found so often in the past. Neil Zard is very lucky. He keeps taking shit down. This should finish the job, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it. Loops are down, and they are starting to slip now, Blank. The Brazilians not having the best of time, but Influence Rage may be able to keep the banner flying over on the western side right now. As they still are in with a chance. They've got a compound, one of the few solid spots, but kind of crashable for me if I'm looking at a team like Weibo, although the question is, do they want to at this stage? And actually with Gen G bearing down upon them, the ball's also pushing in. I think Weibo have bigger fish to fry right now. Sook holding the first. We'll go for the flush as well. Weibo diverting Gen G, but they're going to slam straight in for the rest of the fight. Spray downs look good. Sook is down and actually flushed away. Gen G giving them a bit of a runaround here, but 33Z with a lineup. Spray down, blitzing Gen G, putting them in the blender. They are not to play the rest of this match. They'll get the res and play on as 3 for Weibo. They're challenging. Team Flash making their move as well, up towards Inner Circle, who've been on this position for a while. IQ split apart from the rest, and now Inner Circle playing just as one. A nice run up for Team Flash to claim their spot back, potentially, because it is still all to play for.
Yeah, T24 last alive here, and it's an awkward position on the map to be playing too for T24. So open, you got this small dip. It's a tiny dip essentially to work with, but I think that he should be going down in the next couple of stages. Got a lot of this fielded area on the north side. We still have Chopsticks in, like we were talking about earlier with Geeke holding that one. Influence Rage have a very strong compound over towards the northwest. Question of how long it stays in. Burmese Ghouls out of the field though, fighting versus the Flash. Attempts to step up, but there is a shot there from along the way. The Flash continues to corral Burmese Ghouls into position.
Unknown having the rescue mission sent his way, but Yatka steps into the firing line, and they will tear them to shreds. The Ghouls having a tough time here out in the open. Ichi sending for the 4 wins now. And Team Flash happy to pick up these points. They've started to rack them up now, Blank. Alter Ego, sure, they're in a center position. They've got some points. Weibo are chasing, though. And Team Flash as well, up towards the northern side. And it's going to be both of the 2 teams on the outside there having to move. Team Flash and Weibo are chasing squads. Looking to move things aside as, at the moment, Inner Circle gonna have a real tough time of it. T24, I mean, he's being spotted. He's being shot at. Krypton looking to take him out now. But with the 1 point they've earned, it's not the greatest of finishes. But is he going to get into a building? I think he might just. Oh, no, not quite close enough.
Which one?
To go a little bit further afield. Yeah. He's going to have Arcred to contend with. I thought that was empty. I'm blind completely. I didn't realize Arcred was sat on top of the roof.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think T24, like I said, is going to go down the next couple of stages. Very difficult to play the solo from this position. There really isn't many areas to play. And honestly, by this point in time, you even have these shacks, which are usually designated for like 1 player. Teams are wanting them. Teams are wanting them. Boar's looking a lot better than recently. I think a lot of weight's off their shoulders, which is allowing them to play at a much higher potential, funnily enough.
So kind of letting them go, you know, a little bit off the leash, and this is, again, a team that we were really not expecting a lot from. I've given them a lot of flack over the course of this one, but they have found some cheeky little engagements. I mean, they're not a qualifying team. I think it's still safe to say, but they've exceeded my expectations, and for that, I'm happy. Let's see if they can go toe-to-toe with Team Flash, though. Win does get knocked, does get flushed away, so Team Flash now on 2 players alive, and SnowX is on the swivel. Maybe they're going to exceed my expectations once more, because Team Flash having a bit of a nightmare here. Just the 1 player left standing, and Bose is on low HP as well. Really struggling from up on high, needs to connect, look for the spray downs. Alter Ego not getting stuck in either, they're busy fending off the southwest edge from Influence Rage. In the meantime, Weibo as well, suffering against Alliance.
I mean, Weibo just crashed Alliance. Kind of respect this maneuver from them, to be honest. This is so much more aggressive than we've seen Weibo in the past. They're up to 7 elims on this game. And I think they're really feeling themselves here. After that last match, they made a couple of mistakes, but I think that they are having a big batter moment right now. They're looking for the home run, try and get themselves in towards top 2. As soon as you make that maneuver, you could have played a lot slower, just like Inner Circle, but they don't. They make this weird maneuver on the Western Bridge. I did not like it at all. But for Weibo, I respect it. I really do respect it.
With 3 players alive, 7 elims as well. Let's hope they don't overpeak their angles again. That's the last player from Burmese Ghouls going down. The yesterday games looked pretty good for them. Influence Rage trying to move through Alter Ego. Alva able to find one. No, they're going to take Alva down, but Influence Rage get torn apart by Krypton on the inside. Law finally able to hit the drop shot, and actually it's now down to just Snape. The knocks are coming through thick and fast, and Law will be able to pick up these flushes. Alter Ego put down to Size. Will be playing on us too. The boards are going to rock in from the eastern side as Team Flash, I believe they are eliminated on the eastern side. And the Molotov in from Law might just burn Alter Ego out of position, cause some problems, and Geek are here to play. The revenge of the bottom of the tables.
Yeah, everyone wants points on this one. Alva crawling over towards his teammate, but that nade is on target. Kevin will take him down. At least Alter Ego are able to get some points this game. We weren't able to quite track their rotation perfectly because we were more concerned over towards Weibo, who have now removed Alliance from that position, playing as a 3 in one of the big buildings available. Geek, though, continues strong. I think, again, a lot of our teams towards the bottom of the lobby, the weights are off. You know, we've dropped them like Rock Lee, and we are just going for it because it does feel like you have a little to lose now.
Looks like Weibo have called in a favor of the circle to keep them in on the southeast side here. Other teams are going to have to move in towards the Falcons from the northeast edge. The closest to it, but the Wolves are really making their lives hard with Doran still across the way. That's going to control them for a while, but he's on the far side of the circle, likely going to have to move. Arcred unwillingly sharing this compound with Weibo. And Water does get rezzed. Another nade on in. Maybe that's just the smoke. Maybe a Molotov, actually. No, okay, it does pop some damage there. Didn't quite see the cook on that. Order getting the healing on board. Markred can't really afford to step too close to this one.
Yeah, I think it was a sticky bomb that you sent in there.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
But 8 elims for Weibo. Again, if they are able to push further, I think that does sit them over towards first place, John. If they can get like a 3rd or a 2nd. Alter Ego did push very far in this game with their 8 elims. That's me. SnowX just runs them all down. SnowX is kind of insane. And we haven't had much good to say about the Boars, but SnowX is just a ridiculously good player. And I think that he does deserve a lot of credit. Weibo looking over towards Arcred, and they get immediately taken out. 5th place, I don't think that's enough. It might push them to top 2, but we'll wait and see. But it is fierce. It is fierce towards that top 3 at the moment.
We caught it on the tower graphic on the right-hand side. It's a dead heat right now between Weibo and Inner Circle. The tiebreaker, though, won by Inner Circle. So it's still just outside, but currently it's a 3-way tie, including Alter Ego, actually, with 74 points. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now. Team Flash, obviously drawing short. Burmese Ghouls out of the running. At the moment, the next closest team is the Wolves to try and jump on up. And they're quite a hefty chunk behind. The Falcons just behind them as well. Arcred and Geek further still. Koa lands a shot over towards Doran. The Falcons have been trying to move forwards for a while now. They have managed to get into the next circle. The Wolves are struggling to find these shots because Coops is down next.
If the Falcons, you're starting to... I'd start throwing smokes and start rotating over. You've got 2 knocks there. Now's the time to push. Clear out the Wolves. Slight delay on this one, in my opinion, but a great shot from Narvalo from the front line there. Should be the Wolves done.
It should be going down, but they've got a little bit of tenacity still in them.
That's a lovely nade.
Will want some shots. That is a lot of nades, and they are going to land on target there. The backline's now the only thing for Wolves that is still alive, and the Falcons want to add to their Elim tally. Geek on 10 Elims right now, Blank. They keep it going. Doran down, and the Falcons earn their keep for the time being. They have expended a lot of nades, but that resupply comes in very quickly. Look at that. Immediately snagging 6 more. Geek struggling. Move across in the zone. I mean, it keeps this compound in. Weber would have loved to have won this fight.
They really would have done. I think they gave their all. They already fought Alliance. It was a little bit more of a struggle for them versus Arcred, and great play from Arcred to drop all the smokes. But they were able to pick up a strong spot here, and Arcred actually might get a win off the back of this. They might do. Hence how crunched they get between DK.
Falcons nearly with a knock over towards Ragnarok. Arcred also turning the majority of their tension down towards Geek, who are making moves and a little bit too late still. I mean, it's just not happening for them. But it's a bit of glory under the belt if you can find it. Ragnarok out in the open. Ooh, he's a bad boy, not quite spotting it. The Falcons need to move in too.
Well, I think the setup from the Falcons is good so far. They're trying to deny sightlines from Arcred over towards them. And when Arcred needs to start moving out, they want to make sure they have the line down from the south side so they can shoot them as they move out from those buildings. And the Falcons don't really want to have to take this fight with Geek. They'd rather Arcred took those shots and they steal away the points. It's like they don't have too much ammo on board either, John. Finally, making this push out towards the hay bales. That is a dangerous crossing. All the players inside the vehicle likely to lose at least one, but this is a haymaker of a crash.
Oh, Alpha's going to be able to win the challenge, though, and actually, they're going to be able to fight. No, surely not. Oh, no, it's Narvalo, though. Don't count him out. Not until the end. Not until the very, very end. It's actually Ralph's going to get his own elimination there. That is unfortunate as the vehicle goes up. Narvalo now on the backstop, the only player for the Falcons alive. Arcred need to move out into the field, and they do just that. The smokes, yeah, it's not going to be there. Hardboy has the angle. There's no way he gets these reses. And they're all outside of the zone. Narvalo out in the open. They will go down in second. A nice little crash down, but the explosion doesn't go their way. And Arcred claim a chicken dinner, Blank, to take things into control towards the very end on the open fields.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred a 2-2 split in the vehicles potentially, but you know, hindsight is 2020 there. Tough approach, but a pretty good close down there from Ralph. Sad that the vehicle explodes up in his face. If that doesn't happen, it's a full reset on the team. It really is an unfortunate moment for him. He had to start running away a lot sooner. And again, it is just these tiny little micro maneuvers which are losing teams games. I think that you can't really blame Ralph too much there. I think that's the best we've seen him in a clutch all last chance. But it's a case of, oh, I've got to win this fight. And then you're not really thinking in the back of your head, I've got to get away from the vehicle.
Yeah, it's really, really tough, especially when Arcred are still taking shots out. You're more concerned about your teammates. The Falcons, I mean, it was a good try. It was a good try, but they just couldn't quite cut the mustard this time around. Second place still might keep them in competition. The top spots did draw short. A 74-point dead heat over on the top.
And it's Arcred who pulled out the chicken dinner for match number 2. This endgame was just wild, Max, man. Falcons getting pushed on by Geeky. Break it down for us.
I mean, it just got a bit messy, really. I don't know what to add onto this. I get the idea of Falcons trying to go onto that fight to take the angles away from DK. The thing is, you're not even in a great position in the circle itself if you win that fight. And the rotations early game were great, and they're keeping 4 players alive until the very late game, that was one of the big points of improvement I wanted to see coming out from this team. But that late game push, I think going for Geeky here, Nipchiro, was maybe not the right option. I think there was another fight that you're thinking they could have taken earlier on this match.
Yeah, I think that the way they played this, going for Geeky was the only way they could have played it. However, I want to go back ever so slightly and go, when Arcred were fighting Weibo and Alliance, I think Falcon should have third-partied that. That would have been a completely better option, because then you have actual control of that compound, and then you're the one in control of the zone. You're the one in control of Geeky as well, who had the field. So for me, I would have much preferred a full send onto a third-party position on that compound.
Yeah, I mean, especially the thing is, because you do not fight Arcred in that compound, guess what? Bad boy, he can play the roof angle, which, you know, in a field finish, when you have that high ground elevation, you can't escape the eye of Sauron in this lobby, and Bad Boy just got so much free information and even some off angles at the end around the trees west of the circle. So Arcred, Uzbekistan, looking really good, starting off the day in 13th position. I wonder how high that's going to push them here, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, it's going to definitely push them up a little bit. They've still got a long road left to go here. And the trial is only going to get tougher, because as we start dwindling down here in the last day, teams are going to be just that much more desperate. This hot drop, though, Max, man. Did we see this hot drop coming? I mean, hospital of all places?
Yeah, he was trying to be Sook. And he's trying, though, talking about a bad play there. In a circle. They knew Genji were there. They scouted them. And they still send it. I mean, good on Genji, because I feel like that was a good idea to defend it, because you're clearing your back while trying to transition in the later stage of the game. But in a circle, why delay that Eastern Bridge rotate? That one did confuse me quite a bit.
I think they were trying to pull a bluff and kind of go, listen, Genji definitely not going to be here. The zone's pushing them away now, and unfortunately that was just wrong, right? But yeah, they should have taken the Eastern Bridge. We saw, the Eastern Bridge. We saw them do that in the end, and they survived a lot longer for it. So yeah, that would have been the better play, just to go for that and full send that. But you know, again, just at least they only lose one, right? And they get further ahead in the game. So hopefully not too much of a bad game for them here.
So looking at this final fight, we did have SnowX popping off. I think he got a double nade at one point. A great play on that southern edge fight. But unfortunately, he does get overwhelmed at the end. But yes, SnowX, the French. Always happy to see the French perform. We got Narvalo. Yes. And of course, now we do have SnowX on board for the Boars. They also did have a decent amount of points on Rondo. So that also could push them up significantly in the rankings, as we have the map recap here, seeing some of our top 4 team rotating around the battlegrounds. And you can see, based on where the circle went, Pachinki, Falcons, they don't drop too far away. They go right into Chopsticks, and they have an easy transition point. But they love this 2-2 split, Nipchiro. I swear they've done it for like the past 2 years now. They love this.
They really do, don't they? And honestly, it gives them so much info heading into the mid phase of the game. So I actually really like that, as long as they don't lose players, right? But we will see them kind of keep off to themselves. Same for Arcred. Arcred had that one half of the compound for a very long time, just really chilling there, able to keep their info, keep their utilities as well till the end game. I also really liked what we saw here from Falcons. They move up onto this little bit of high ground. It's very similar to what we saw from them in one of the games on the group stage, where they were able to really have a dominating game based off of that high ground, that rolling hill. So I'm really glad they remembered that and utilized that again here, because again, it gets them 10 points on the board, and with how close the leaderboard is, that 10 points is looking really good for them.
Every point counts here at this point. Chopsticks field finish is always going to be so difficult, so I'm not surprised we saw so many teams just get eliminated right there towards the end. And man, it's so wild to see just how things are shaking out here. We still got 2 more Aaron Gales left to go, Max, man. Weibo, they put up 11 in their first one here. They're putting up some consistent points, but I think it is just these little tiny mistakes that we're seeing out there. By the way, 33Z with those crazy shots on the Gen G, that got me so hyped.
Yeah, I was like, no way, 33Z's popping up. It's so good to see. Like, of course, when you look at this team, you're expecting Sook and you're expecting Order to be up there. But Hero and 33Z really coming in their own this season, it seems like, right, Nipchiro? They're really performing, bringing points on board. Genuinely so happy for them. Though, looking at the lower side of these rankings, I feel bad for one team, and that's Loops. Man, they were going for Crash onto Wolves. and they had 3 teams shooting back at them. They had Geek, Burmese Ghouls, and the Wolves. I mean, you're taking a 1v3 at that point. What do you expect? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's the power of the field finishes, right? There's
Yeah.
no angle from which you can hide. So unfortunate indeed, especially when you're going up against Bad Boy here, the MVP. Up on top of that roof, that compound is just so good for those roof angles, and you're able to just take so much advantage over those field finishes. So GG to Bad Boy, able to get up 6 eliminations here, Jukes.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Arc Red putting up some points. How close is the top looking though right now? It's looking pretty close. Pretty darn close. 3-way tie, folks. And the reason why IC is in second is because they got 1 chicken dinner. A's in first because they got 2. But Weibo is right there lurking right behind him. And not to mention, you got Flash pretty dang close. We are seeing a good solid gap, though, between 4th and 5th place here, Max.
Yeah, you have a 13-point gap between 4th and 5th. Is you got again that little bit of a cushion being built up. But I am fuming. This is so rough to watch, Niptura, because I had 5 teams that I was like, I think are favorites when it comes to making it in top 2, and I would like to see them make it. And that's Ultra Ego, Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash, and Wolves. And 4 of them are in the top 4. This is going to be a heartbreaking finish, man. That last Miramar, I'm going to be crying.
Yeah, it's always heartbreaking when you've only got 2 going through, and when all of them are doing so well, as you said, the top 4 out of 5, right? And they're all so close. You've got the top 3 in a tie right now. Like, all of these teams deserve to go through to finals. We have to choose 2, and it's going to be so difficult to make that choice.
Oh, man, when it comes to the Wolves, Max, they are currently 21 points behind that 2nd place spot. I mean, with how these top teams are playing, it's getting about that do or die point, at least in my mind, right? What do you feel the Wolves specifically need to do different in this next Erangel, considering they're so far behind?
So before I answer your question, because very good question, Ragnarok got 6 elims with just under 200 damage. Stealing.
What?
That's crazy.
Stealing?
That's crazy.
In the game, he was stealing all the limbs. But no, for Wolves, I'm really happy to bring it up. I feel like they're going for these kind of desperate positions. In this game in particular, right, in the field finish, they went for these sheds very early on, which they're not bad late game, right, if you don't have too many options. But here, Niptura, they went for them mid game. And that really locks you out of late stage rotational potential, because your cars are going to be spotted from like a mile away. You're going to pop the wheels on the buggies, on the Darcias, whatever vehicle you have, and you're not going to be able to leave it. I think that it would have been better to see them try and fight off for a POI, like a compound or that hilltop to the west, or even maybe to the east. That would have maybe allowed them to make it into a top 3 podium finish. But here, I think they just went for a desperate position that, as we see, didn't really reward them with a lot of survival time.
I agree. I always hate when we see those plays being made in the mid game, because it feels desperate, and it feels like you're almost, now I'm going to be harsh here, it almost feels like you're giving up the game very early on, because once you're there, you're stuck there for the rest of the game. It's very few chances you're actually going to get through there. So I don't want to see that again. We've got 2 more Wrangles. Come on, we can do better than that. Wolves are far better than what that game showed us, so I need to see a bit more from them, Jukes.
I'm telling you though, military is coming.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it. I want to see that desperation come out, because some of these teams need these points so bad. One more Erangel match. Let's go ahead and take it on over to John Allen and Blake.
Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're getting so close. 9 out of 12 matches. This is our 9th. Will it be lucky number 9? For one of our teams looking to break that tie at the top spots, the top 3, looking to try and make some division between them, try and open a lead. The plane path on the west side here. Maybe we'll see some vehicle hot drops, teams looking to break out towards the east, but we're going in again. This is our 2nd Erangel today, and our penultimate Erangel at the last chance stage.
It's also the part of the day where I said that we should start counting out some teams who would not be making it through last chance into top 2. It gets really difficult at this point, John.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's going to be much harder for the teams at the bottom to start to make up that ground. The opportunities are dwindling. There really isn't much more time left. If you're not in the competition at the end of this match, you're not in the competition. I mean, of course, the outliers of, back-to-back 30-point games, but I mean, I don't think that's ever happened in the history of PUBG Mobile. I don't think we've seen a last 2 matches ascendancy in that sort of fashion before. We've seen comebacks, but they have been sort of over the course of an entire day, not just at the second part of it. So this game, crucial. I think for anyone maybe below 50 points, it's got to be very, very, very difficult to catch up here. And anyone below that metric will really struggle to catch up. And anyone below 40 points, it is just done. There is no way you're making it through. Second place, we're expecting it to be over 100 points, towards 110, could be as high as 120. It's very, very volatile, very variable as to what we'll see at the top of the tables. And at the moment, looks like we haven't got too many teams actually stacking up to that sort of metric. 110 looking more likely, maybe closer to 100.
Yeah, essentially on this match, like if you are around the 45-point mark, you're looking for a chicken dinner, or to be honest with you, what you're looking for is 55 to 60 points. And that might give you a chance to catch up, right? For teams like Burmese Ghouls, Loops, Influence Rage, Wolves, these teams do have the possibility of making it in, but it does require Alter Ego and Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash to stop doing so well in their matches, because it seems very consistent from all 4 of those squads getting towards a late finish. The Flash is lagging behind a little bit, but it is so close. Like, dead heat between Alter Ego, Inner Circle, Weibo is insane to me. All 3 teams with 74 points. I can't remember which group it was, but we had another group where it might have been Group Red, where it was 3 teams on the same points towards the top side and winning out on tiebreakers. Just insanely close this tournament so far. I feel like a broken record as well, because every single PMGC we get, I'm like, this is the most competitive PMGC we have seen. It seems like we've topped it again.
Hey, we just keep getting better, strength to strength, It was very, very close. Yeah, back in Group Red, it was 137 in third place to 136 and 136 for both Team Flash and Weibo Gaming, who right now are on 3rd and 4th place right now as well, which has got to feel like a terrible little flashback. And if you want to see flashback, then they are going to need to break that tiebreaker.
Some bad omens. Some bad omens for some of our squads at the moment. Weibo starting Severny, likely going to be a swing over the south side of Stalbert. I'll pick those positions on the east side of the circle. In a circle, yeah, you'd hope it was an eastern bridge. Snake down immediately, and Rosemary gonna test his metal here, but there is some great shots from Neil Zada off in the distance. Vitin will find Rosemary. Now Krypton has a lot to do here. I like that pre-fire.
Oh. Not able to keep things under control. Gonna abandon Rosemary, let him fall back instead. Alva's in for the backup. The nade goes long. And it might just be a resible here. Ratto Boy wants to stop it, but the bounce on the container. Rosemary is looking pretty resible. Neil Zada trying to launch a nade. Ratto Boy, Vitin, both trying to find it. Geek are here. Hang on a minute. A third party coming through from the northern shore, all the way from the backlines. And that should allow Alter Ego to maybe repair the decimating damage that's been sent their way already. Alva desperately picking people up. Neil Zada very exposed, wants to slow it down, but overexposed to Krypton. And he's able to slice on through it. Rosemary back to his feet. The backup for Loops cut away by the third party from Geek. Rosemary re-knock, but Snape severs the connection to that knocker. Will not be able to find the flush. Ratto Boy desperately bringing back Neil Zada now, and Loops' dreams may be coming crashing down here. Alter Ego keep the top spot for now, and they want more. They want to keep it going, but Ratto Boy rages on the inside. Krypton flushed away, and Geek in for the fight. Once more, they look to stop a team at the top.
GK moving in, and the one bites the dust, and that's Alter Ego down and out. 75 points is the marker now for first place. What a big stand-up there for Krypton, but not enough as GK swings in from that north side. Oh, the reset just could not come through. I think if Alter Ego was able to get the full reset, they might have just divulged away from this location, straight down towards the south. Second time now where Alter Ego, right at the beginning of the game, gets completely cut out. Starting to wonder if this is potentially targeted.
I mean, Geeke with 3 elims on the hunt for the remnants of loops. For Alter Ego, that's nasty. It felt like Geeke were giving them the little assist. I wonder if Papara Supermassive are aware of this. I mean, starting up towards Zaki, by the way, for Papara Supermassive, they may have heard some of this fighting. But the quiet should spook them now. They'll have seen a squad wipe coming through on their elim feed. They should be aware that this is popping off. I think getting to the circle might be a little bit more of a firm beckon for Papara Supermassive. As we hop over to the east side, though, Arcred very central. Team Flash on quite a big split, lining the east side of the Yasnaya fields right now. And trying to hold out as much as they can. Weibo a little bit further out east towards that mansion split area.
I think it's a reasonable split coming through from the Flash. I think they can contain a lot of this area for the time being. A lot of safe buildings to work with as well. Especially this one here for Tops. The wall around it keeps him pretty fortified. He should have off angles from his team as well to help if anything goes down. But you'd hope that they would regroup soon. They have got a lot of loot on board starting in Yasnaya. They had a ton of time to grab smokes, nades, everything they might want towards an end game. Weibo do make that cross on South Stalbert. Nico, though, finding Geeke. Geeke kind of an annoying squad right now for a lot of teams, I imagine. Coming out of nowhere. Also, I will say, though, for Geeke, I really did like that rap, right? Where they saw over towards loops. They did a lot of damage towards loops. They were like, okay, that team is in a struggle bus city. So let's wrap over towards the other side and try and take down the other team that seems to be taking a lot of damage trying to get the reset. So it was a smart move. Hard southeast shift. Goodness me. Ooh. So we're over towards Lumberyard. Boars do have an outpost already set up there. So good foresight on that one from them, trying to take as much area as possible from where they were playing.
Foresight might not be enough, though. You need to go for the 5, 6, 7 site in the end. Redox spotted out in the open. A very wide split for the Falcons. They were hedging their bets on this one, but they do get spotted with one of their players. They'll play on as 3, trying to make their way down south with the rest of them. Team Flash, I mean, picking up a point for Team Flash is good. Every single point matters, and I mean, this is what we were talking about, right? With points denials also being so important. We've seen several be denied over the course of the games here in Last Chance and over the course of the tournament in general. And it would break a tiebreaker like this, right? It would put Weibo above Inner Circle or vice versa in scenarios like this, which is exactly why we talk about it being such a viable strategy in these really, really close scenarios.
I'm surprised by Weibo's approach on this one. They actually send hard down towards the southeast. Towards the dead trees. Pick up the compounds that sit around there as well. Bit of a gamble from Weibo trying to get further into this match. Now Valor gets spun out. We'll have to reverse that bad boy across the grass. Arcred may just chase him down. But that's Falcons down towards, I think that's 3 players. I think one player is very low, or it is just down to... Yeah, just down to 3 players now. So they lost Redox.
On that rotate down from the south side after playing that large split. Arcred not wanted to stretch out too far, and I think that's probably sensible given the circle right now. Teams will crunch in around them, and if they get embroiled in a fight for too long, it will get third partied.
Yeah, you want to hold on to the prison spot, especially on the high ground as well. It's a very nice position from Arcred. Maybe they could have got something done there. Like I say, quick flex out, but I think the high percentage play is just to stay there. For the Boars, who are currently at 47 points, they do have a real chance to get up towards the middle of the pack and potentially hunt down some of our top teams. With Alter Ego already out, it gives slightly more time, right? We add a little bit more to that stopwatch for some of our squads trying to move through towards the top side of the lobby. Ray is just spinning out of control.
Hitting with the Beyblade. Trying to make it work. GK on this northwest side. Of course, losing one of their players earlier on to Papara Supermassive. They are still on this north side. Next circle. We're going up towards the prison. Oh, a big feature of the circle. That prison ridgeline that Arc Red hold is a break point for teams moving up towards the north, for Alliance, for Wolves, for Inner Circle, Gen G, Weibo as well. It's going to filter teams left and right of it. And I would not be surprised to see a couple of teams trying to put themselves in shackles and send on in there.
Well, that's a last-ditch scenario, right? If you are a solo or a duo, maybe you play prison, but it does become sort of unplayable area. You don't want to end up in there unless you're in zone 7-8 and it is on top of prison directly. For Weibo, very quick approach back over towards Lipovka, scouting out that area, trying to control the ridge on the western side. I think they understand that they can't get the majority of the area there, so they're just going to sit this one out, it seems, over on the coast. The GK sending in here early is interesting, in my opinion.
Big dogs in the prison yard.
I think they're more prisoners, honestly. just prisoners.
Oh yeah, big dog in the prison yard. Little minuscule terrier on the outside right now. Rock up there, you're gonna have problems, but are you gonna rock up there? Well, Loops seem to be scouting it. They're going as well. Loops are going in too. Loops are going in with Geeke. They're going for the lock-in. And Loops in a really important position, although to be fair, Loops are 2.
Yeah, I think Geeke is just maybe unconfident in there. But for Geeke with 38 points, feels unlikely. Maybe they're just wanting to get, you know... Wouldn't be wrong. Should be the Wolves done.
Now the only thing for Wolves that is for the time being. They have expended a lot of nades, but that resupply would have loved to have won this fight.
They really would have done. I think they gave their all. They already fought Alliance. It was a little bit more of a stretch. Actually might get a win.
EK, who are making moves, and Glory under the belt, if you can find it. Ragnarok out in the open. Ooh, he's a bad boy, not quite spotting it.
And when Arcred needs to start moving out, they want to make sure they have the line down from the south points. It's like they don't have too much ammo on board either, John. Finally, making...
Ooh, Alpha's going to be able to challenge, though, and actually, they're going to be able to fight... No, surely not. Oh, no, it's not Valo, though. Don't count him out. Not until the end. Not until the very, very end. It's actually Ralph's going to get his own elimination there. That is unfortunate as the vehicle goes up. Narvalo now on the backstop, the only player for the Falcons alive. Arcred need to move out into the field, and they do just that. The smokes, yeah, it's not going to be there. Hardboy has the angle. There's no way he gets these reses. And they're all outside of the zone. Narvalo out in the open. They will go down in second. A nice little crash down, but the explosion doesn't go their way. And Arcred claim a chicken dinner blank to take things into control towards the very end on the open fields.